Hey everybody, welcome back. This is HD and it's time for another StarCraft 2 game, and it is going to be another game here with Flash. And I say Flash like that because this supposedly could be Flash, or it supposedly could not be. But you guys can see that he is still using the same alias as he was before when he was playing Kawaii Rice. And his opponent here is going to be Jimaholic, and that's otherwise known as Desrow. The reason why I say otherwise known is because this is one of his well-known aliases, and if that's the case, he should try to join Evil Geniuses. I heard they have a great workout program there. Anyways, as you guys know, Flash has been playing StarCraft 2 for about a month now, and ever since his live stream event where people realized this is his alias, and people realized that, you know, he played against Kawaii Rice, and that just happened yesterday, people all over the world have been checking their replay folders and realizing, hey, I uploaded a replay playing this guy on the Asian server, and this is what happened. Desrow played this quote-unquote guy, quote-unquote Flash, about 7 days ago, and he uploaded this on a drop website. And now, just now, he's realized, hey, that's Flash. And I checked out his YouTube channel, and yes, he just uploaded this video, and he calls himself playing against KTF Flash. So, having said that, we have another game here with Flash, and I don't think it's going to be every day that we're going to get an opportunity like this. So I'm very, very excited to bring you guys a second game of Flash here, and we'll see what happens. The map is Ohana, and we already have a supply blockade going down at the front door. So that Protoss probe is denied, and it will not be able to get inside the base. Something that StarCraft 2 and StarCraft Brood War players did all the time was place that kind of preliminary supply depot and then eventually finishing it off later. That's a trait that carried over to StarCraft 2. We do have, it looks like Desrow is not going to be going with the quick expansion, rather going to go for the older style of expanding, maybe get the Gateway Cybernetics Core, mine some gas, get a Stalker out, and then get the Nexus at the natural down. Those astute viewers of Brood War will remember Flash back in the days when he first kind of made his Flash splash, that was no pun intended, when he first kind of came on the scene. And he wasn't known to be a very, what's the word I'm looking for here, conventional player. He actually was uber aggressive, and people knew him for a while as a cheesy player. He 2-racks cheese people. He would open up with proxy starport into wraiths. He did the craziest builds, and you know, for a while people were like, hey, this guy's just gonna be a Flash. He's not gonna be around for a while. Well, guess what? You were wrong. Flash has been around ever since that time, and he is one of the most epic players ever. I'll get to this in a second, but he is now called God, and that's like, you know, first is Bonjwa, then you're God. Well, Flash now is a God. That's why Kawaii Rice said GG God at the end of the last match. But anyways, Flash has opened up here with a macro command center, and this is the fastest possible command center you can possibly go for. And this is how he beats players nowadays. He plays macro, and he went away from his cheesy style into a macro style. Hold that thought, a Zealot and Stalker trying to come up the front door, but you know what? With the supply depot wall laid out like that already, and the wall being covered by 4 or 5 Marines, these command centers are going to go unscouted. And as I was saying before, Flash kind of known for you know, his cheesy playstyle in the origin of his StarCraft 2 career, but towards the latter part of his career, really known for macro, able to out macro his opponent. You combine I Love Oov's cheater macro style, that's what he was called because he was a cheater macro Terran, absolutely phenomenal macro, and then you combine that with Boxer's knowledge, and then what you have is Flash, the most epic player of StarCraft Brood War today. And so nowadays he beats players with macro, and you know, we saw that against Kawaii Rice. We'll see if he does it again here against Desrow. You know, all signs pointing to it already. He got a good scout with that SCV before it died. He did see the Nexus, and he saw the follow-up to that, which is just more gates. I don't think he saw the support bay, but he did see the robotics facility, so he can kind of intuition that Colossus are on the way here. Note that his Harvester count is lower as of right now, but he has a macro command center, and the ramifications of that, not only more mules, but more SCVs. So until Desrow scouts this out, he is at a disadvantage. He does have the tech on his side, though, because he's going for that support bay, and the first observer is now on the way out onto the field. And we're going to see Colossus pretty soon here. But, you know, this is how Flash beats players nowadays. He doesn't need to cheese, although he still can. He doesn't need to. He can out-mechanically play another opponent. And if you ever get a chance, in fact, after this video, you know, go and type in on YouTube. You're already on YouTube, of course, unless you're watching this through some third-party website, which I have no idea. Go and type in Flash FP VOD and watch a moment where he macros his barracks and his factories and his starports. He literally has like 20 to 25 of them, and back then you could not select them all at once and hotkey them. You had to go through every single building one at a time, and he does it like that, so fast. Now those skills won't necessarily translate over to StarCraft 2 because you have multiple buildings select now, but that ability to go through things so quickly, the fast mindset, the fast fingers, will translate over to other aspects of StarCraft 2. And you know, we'll see, man. We'll see if he can take out a Protoss here by the name of Desrow. Desrow, you know, I haven't given him much thought here, but he is a pretty talented Protoss. Probably playing, you know, with a black market account, as my cousin does that too, to get some practice against players on the Asian server. If you want to be the best, you play against the Asians. That's what they say. And am I selling myself a little bit here? I'm sorry. We don't have that third command center going out yet. It is still inside the base. Good position on that observer at the ramp. Gonna get a good scout off. Note that Stimpak combat shields are pretty late here, but you know, Flash went for that quick third command center, so he can be excused for not having the tech quite yet because he's got so much eco. That observer did see the macro command center. And immediately, what does Desrow do? He tries to go for the third nexus at the right of his natural. But what he doesn't know is how long that command center has been down for. It has been pumping mules and SCVs for a very long time. And as a result, Flash, no slouch here, he will capitalize on any advantage he gets. And look at the supply tab right now. He is ahead of the Protoss, and he's making an attack with his bigger army. This is typical Flash style right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here, boys. We are going to see him make an attack. Maybe not. I guess he's going to pull back that probe, just barely skirting out of the way of the disaster that could have been its body remnants on the ground, and it will hide up there for now. It can build a proxy pylon if needed. Two Colossus are on the field. Remember, Desrow here, just finishing up 1-1, has the tech advantage. He has the upgrade advantage as well. He's getting thermal land, so tech is on his side. Can't say the same for economy, however, because, you know, look at the supply. He's behind right now by about a good 20 to maybe 30 supply. And both players are getting that the third building situated, the third command center, the third nexus situated about the same time. But the harvester count, the result of that harvester count, obviously favoring Flash here. And if Flash can get those upgrades going to catch up, then he's going to be looking really, really good. One thing is he didn't go uber greedy. He didn't go uber eco cheese by getting, you know, a quick double engineering bay and trying to rush upgrades. If he had, man, he would be really far ahead right now, because Desrow has not really shown much aggression at all this game. And as of right now, Flash is just kind of securing that third area. Note that Flash getting +1 air weapons, and he's making Vikings 2 at a time right now. And he saw the robotics facility. He didn't see the support bay, but he's kind of determining from that initial scout that, hey, my opponent's gonna have Colossus pretty soon. So watching this game here, he has not missed a beat, because any player, you wouldn't think it, you know, Flash hasn't been playing StarCraft 2 for the last 2 years. He's been making money playing Brood War, and yet it seems like watching this game he hasn't missed a beat at all. He's doing the right things. He's getting Vikings. He's getting +1 air weapons. Desrow, of course, been playing this for years and years, been playing for a long time, is getting Templars right now, and that is the correct style of Protoss versus Terran. You need to have a mixture of both, so that any one unit doesn't fall to mass Vikings or fall to mass Ghosts. And if Flash has really been on top of things, he's been playing for the last month, he should be getting a Ghost Academy pretty soon, and if not now, he should get it after he scouts the the Templar on the field, and he's making an attack right now. Look at his supply, guys, up by plus 30. That's just Flash's macro coming into play right here. A little bit of I Love Ubi and a little bit of Boxer, and here he goes with this attack. Great placement on the Vikings. He's gonna shred through 2 Colossi. The third one will drop as well. He's getting stormed though, and the storm and the lasers from the last remaining Colossus doing a good chunk of damage here. But Flash may have enough ground troops to bust through. There's an Archon coming out though, and that is where recycling Templars is so good, so handy. That Archon, being the big blue ball of fire it is, will push this army back a little bit. But look at the mini-map and how Flash, oh, he's gonna get the Archon, is that gonna die? Yes, it will. Look at how Flash is continuing to reinforce his position. You rarely see players do this in StarCraft 2, but in Brood War, this was how you played. You set your rally points to your offensive strike point, and you played by the gospel of breaking your opponent's back. Keep applying pressure until there is no more back to be broken, and he's going for it here. But he's got to be very careful. Loses a medevac, but he's getting so cost-effective. Oh, the storms! He actually dodged that pretty well, and he's trying to take out the Archon right now. Does just that. Still has to deal with these charge lots, and he's doing a good job. Still reinforcing. Flash, this is the style of Flash that was so hard to deal with. Just constantly reinforcing the offensive position, and he could very well break through right here. He's still got 3 medevacs healing, takes out the weakened Stalkers in the back, and just a handful of charge lots left for him to deal with. Still applying this pressure. One thing though that Desrow can kind of cling on to is the fact that he's on 3 bases, he's on par with the Terran, and he's got another Colossus out. This could be it. This could be Desrow's chance for a breath of new life. And will Flash give up? It looks like Desrow's gonna call pause. Gotta get the door. Maybe it's the pizza guy. No wonder he's a gymaholic. Gotta hit up the gym after the pizza. I'm just kidding, Desrow. You are a good guy. And maybe that pause there actually causing, of course, because we're watching replay right now, you know, you don't see the actual pause, but that was about a 30-second pause according to Desrow. Perhaps now, oh, Flash, uncharacteristic, losing 2 medevacs. But perhaps now Flash, because of that pause, says, oh, okay, I'll get some pizza too, ha ha ha. And now he's kind of chilling back a little bit and not attacking. Interesting. So he has given up the assault. Of course, maybe one reason is because there's the Colossus out, and then there's so many more Colossus and Templar now. A lot of gas. A little uncharacteristic of Flash earlier to lose those 2 medevacs. Perhaps he didn't reset the starport rally point, or perhaps it were just 2 lingering medevacs, but that kind of hurt. He is still ahead though, man, guys, and now that both players have kind of settled down a little bit, you'd expect them both to expand, and that's what we have going here with a Nexus at the 4th and a command center in base just overlooking the 4th, potential 4th for Flash. And he has Ghosts coming as well. 4 Ghosts on the way. So, you know, he has not missed a beat at all, man. Watching him right now, I would have thought that he's a seasoned StarCraft 2 veteran. I cannot wait to see how he performs 3 months from now, a year from now. Can you imagine? There's going to be at least 1 Code S title to his name. And, you know, the proper responses, that's why I'm making, you know, such a big deal out of this, because he's doing the proper things. He's getting Ghosts out right now to counter the Templar. He's got a lot of idle SCVs there, but he's got Vikings to deal with the Colossus as well. Things looking prime for Flash. Desrow, on the other hand, looking pretty good himself. Tons of Immortals coming. And one thing that I will note is his upgrades have been phenomenal this matchup already. He is at about to be 3-1-3, whereas the Terran is still at about to get 3 weapons, 2 armor. So Flash is behind in upgrades. And here goes his next big battle. The Colossus laser is getting a couple of good shots out. The Vikings coming to greet them. A couple of EMPs coming down as well. I think Flash is going to win out this fight, guys. But here comes 5 Templars to the west. Drop a storm. Snipe kits another Templar. More storms hit the main of the army. And now more Ghosts coming in from Flash. Flash, just like his Protoss opponent. Oh, gets 2 of his Ghost feedback there. But just like his Protoss opponent, you know, says, hey, I'm Flash, I can macro too. You have warp prisms, no problem. My army's already here before you can even warp out. That was Flash's claim to fame, and it's like when you play Flash, he has warp prisms on the field and or pylons, and he can warp anywhere he wants. His units are there just in a flash. And it looks like he's going to try to secure this fourth. There's a pylon back there, and it's going to force the command center to lift off a bit and reposition. Did he lift that off and go up a bit? I think that's in the right spot. Do note we have a gravitic drive coming right here from the support bay, and if you ever get confused between drive and boosters, just look at the icon. The icon with the big wings, like this one, which is drive, means warp prism. The one with the small ones means observer speed. So we're gonna get warp prism speed coming out in a second here. The spending tab identical, maybe technology favoring Protoss slightly. And surprisingly, not too many barracks for Flash, but he's got 2 reactor starports, so he's making Vikings and medevacs in a big way. He's got a lot of Vikings coming out right now. In that last fight, though, I think might have went... I thought it was a pretty balanced fight, but the one thing is Flash did get his 4th mining a little bit later, so he is realizing the benefits of his economy just a tad later than his opponent, and his ghosts are not invisible under the range of an observer, so these ghosts are visible to Desrow, and Desrow's gonna send out a Templar here. It's gonna get sniped though, and now these ghosts are on an assassination mission. 007 oh, they got scouted. They're completely under vision of the observer, and that ghost is probably, oh, it's gonna live as a warp prism comes into the 4th. This is a new mining base, but Flash pulls his SCVs out of the way just in time. He only lost 1 SCV there. Wow, that was such good reaction timing by Flash, and overall kills off 2 Templars and a Warp Prism and loses a Marine and an SCV. That is it, and not to mention forcing his opponent to waste Templar energy and not going to have that Archon on the field. So big win right there for Flash, which was needed because his 4th is mining later. And oh no, Flash is going to lose some of his reinforcements. Oh, 3 ghosts and 5 or so Marauders hitting the floor. And now his Vikings are eating so much storm. They're in the eye of the storm right now. And those Vikings, I think, you know, they're just going to be sent in on a suicide mission just to kill the Colossus. That's totally fine. But his army has been stimmed up this entire time. He's still down in upgrades, just trying to scramble that +3 armor so he can be on par. Look at the Protoss, 3-2-3. And his Marauders are so stimmed, they're so heavy in the red, they cannot continue to stim like this. And oh wow, Desrow gonna come in here with a bunch of charge-off reinforcements. And a great storm to boot. Feedback's on the medevac. And that could be all she wrote. Desrow gonna take the victory against Flash here. But Flash, at any point in this game, saved the last minute or so. You would have thought for sure Flash was staying at least on par with his opponent, if not the aggressor, if not the potential victor. Desrow turning things around in a jiffy right there. But that was an incredible match of StarCraft 2, and even more exciting, of course, is the fact that we once again get to see another game with Flash playing StarCraft 2. And as I've been doing before, just kind of rewinding through the battles here, just look at how long Flash was applying pressure here, and look, just, guys, keep your eyes on the mini-map here, okay? Don't look at anything else but the mini-map, because this is what I thought was so crazy. I don't know, a good 3 minutes or so of constantly streaming reinforcements about, I think. That is StarCraft Brood War to the max. That is Flash to the max. And, no, honestly, if it wasn't for that pizza delivery, I don't know, man. I think Flash would have just kept going for it. I think that pause just kind of stopped the adrenaline for a little. And there it is. That was the pause. That was the 30-second intermission right there, which we don't see because we're watching it from a replay, but Flash backs off. And you still ahead, guys. You can see 160 to 147 supply. You know, Flash no slouch at all. And I swear, if if you were watching the game right now, you would have thought Flash was winning. Here's this next big battle. I'm gonna go ahead and try to rewind it to the right point though. And was it at 20 minutes or was it at 18? It was at 19 and 45, but I can't get in between 20 and 18, so I have to forward here. And I'm forwarding through into the future. And pause. Stop. Okay. So this attack, big attack right here, Flash I still think was winning this game, but the upgrades were not in his favor. He was at 2-3, 2 armor, 3 weapons. Oh, actually, he wasn't getting 3 weapons yet. He was just about to finish it. So 2-2. He's a Protoss opponent, though. I think 3-1-3. So, or at least 3-3. So he was doing really, really well for himself. And Desrow coming in here with the upgrade advantage. But I still think Flash in a better position. The Vikings were doing a fantastic job of shooting the Colossus. Note how he backs his army away from the Colossus, forcing them to use their maximum range. And here comes the Templars. These guys kind of swayed the battle a little bit in favor of the Protoss. And most times you'd say, oh, hey, Templars re-arriving. Warp, the ability for Protoss to warp in right away. Boom, that's where Terran has to fall back. And that's usually what happens. But Flash says, no, I'm staying, I'm fighting, because I've got ghost reinforcements too. My rally points are set just as a Protoss's warp gates are set, and I'm coming in here to fight. Now that didn't go too well for him because he did get 2 of his ghost feedback, which is terrible. 2 full energy ghosts hitting the ground, and that kind of sucked for Flash. But this was the main point. He was distance mining the 4th, while his opponent Desrow the entire time was mining the 4th Nexus. That entire battle, he wasn't making fast money. He had to make long run money. His opponent was making fast money on that 4th Nexus. So that was a big change. And Desrow capitalized. He, you know, he already had that upgrade advantage. Now he's starting to work on Protoss armor. But he already had that upgrade advantage. Excuse me, not armor, but shields. He already had the upgrade and he had the eco advantage in the last couple of minutes. And this last fight, man, those units right there just totally caught with their pants down. It's like mom catching you in the room when you're doing what you shouldn't be doing. And that really sucked for Flash, because if he had that chunk of his army still with him, the fight might have went differently. He did get a couple of EMPs off, so it wasn't all for naught. But this last fight, let's just see how it went down. That storm, oof. Actually hurting the Zealots a little bit underneath, but hurting the Vikings a lot as well. But Flash didn't care. He just wanted to trade his Vikings for the Colossus, which is understandable. Also doing a good job of baiting storms out by his opponent. But Desrow just had raw numbers on his side at this point. That's where that mining comes into play in the last fight, because that translates into 1 million charge slots. And look at this army, man. All stim to the red. And Flash trying to buy time to heal, because when you need to heal, you have to have your medevac stopped. And so he's trying to heal here, but it wasn't enough time to heal everything. And Desrow knew it. He smelt the blood. And he went in for this attack with everything that he had. But congratulations to Desrow, able to take out Flash. But of course, Flash showing that in a month's time, he's able to compete with some of the known players now in the community. I shudder to think what will happen in 3 months, in a year. Like I said, guys, Flash is here, and he is coming with a vengeance. So we'll see what happens, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast. Diablo 3, soon to be out in a few days. I'm so excited. I'm planning to play Hardcore Inferno, or whoops, at least Hardcore. I don't know if I can get up to Inferno, but I will be playing Hardcore and making some videos about that. You guys can tune in and watch me hopefully not die. And good times, good times. I'll see you guys in the next video. HD, signing out.